Okay, I do believe. Here, live. Let me refresh the page and make sure. Oh yeah. Okay, hi chat.
Oh boy.
Where's the chat? There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, now I will share it to Facebook and whatnot.
There you go.
Snake book.
Snake book. No shit.
Yeah,
I find myself staring at this shit way too much.
Mm-hmm. We all do.
For no reason at all.
You're live, big boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I guess I'll quit looking for it then.
Well, you can still get on there and follow along with the chat.
I was waiting for it to pop up on my Facebook and then go over from there, but I'll just go right to YouTube.
I will tag you in it.
All right.
Yeah, the post done.
Oh, here we go. I found it. I got a.
You got a bite, Joel?
What's that?
You got a bite?
Yeah, I found it. I'm not very smart when it comes to this technology stuff.
I'm lost without my 14-year-old.
Yeah, my daughter's 6 and she's showing me things on my phone.
Yeah, we're idiots, dude.
Yeah,
we're idiots. The kids, like a child shall lead them stuff. It's like so real right now.
Yeah. But the things they don't understand really surprises the hell out of me sometimes.
Yeah. The easy shit, the common sense shit. They're getting your ass whooped shit. They don't have a clue.
Like look up before you run into the fucking wall type thing.
Right.
Yeah. We'll wait a couple seconds here. Get some more people in the chat and whatnot. We got 8 people watching now. I think.
What up, everybody?
Welcome, everybody. If you guys are here for the show, make sure you say hello in the chat.
Probably my mom watching. She told me not to be cursing as much this time, so I gotta watch that.
Get in trouble, Joe.
You grab that ear and twist it.
And she will. She used to hit me with a yardstick. That was her thing.
Oh, geez. And then nice and long, and then she got to run after you.
She'd hit me with it sideways.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Chris Drummond, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show. Tony Stansberry, my guy. What's up? What's up? He's going to be a beast, I tell you. He's going to be a beast. Awesome.
Joe, you doing all right? Did you just pull recently, Joe?
Yeah, we pulled, what was it, last? Well, not.
I think
last
it was 2
weekend.
Saturdays ago, the 4th.
Yeah, up in Toledo.
Joel whooped tail and took names. Did you even lose at all, right or left? I think you went undefeated.
No, I didn't.
Arms.
But look, hey, I stuck in my weight class. I didn't jump up, and I wasn't ready for all that.
Didn't look for trouble.
Dude.
What's that?
And you didn't look for no trouble?
No, I didn't. There was some animals there, so.
Yeah, there was. There's some.
I know when I'm ready for that stuff, and I wasn't ready for it last weekend, so.
There's definitely some big boys there.
Yeah. Brandon Elsesser looked like a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lot of yeah.
I used to whoop on that dude too.
Not
anymore. I have a training partner. My training partner, Josh, he's the same way. I used to be able to beat him quite a bit on the practice table, and nope, not anymore. He way past me. It's awesome though.
We can't all be guys like Cobra and jump up into the supers. And...
Man, that guy's no more. You know.
Yeah, you did it enough though.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I can take a few ass whoopings. You know, handed them out. I'll take a few.
Yep. I'm not afraid of it anymore.
Man, what am I gonna do? No. What am I gonna do, Joe? I got no bicep. What am I gonna do?
You got a hand, man. That's all you need.
No. Gotta have some kind of side pressure.
Yeah.
I can't beat my kid right now, bro. I can't beat my kid right now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have. Look, I flex my bicep. It's soft. My forearm and shit. All this is strong.
Right.
My forearm, my bicep. Yeah, there's something. I think it's neurological. I've been going with it. So we'll find out.
You pull as many matches as you have in your career, you know, shit's gonna come apart in there.
I'm not injured, bro. Nothing's injured.
Damn.
No, they took the pictures. Nothing's injured. Nothing's pinched. Nothing.
Just
wow.
They got some other clown that's gonna look at it next week. So I don't really. I'll be all right. I don't need to pull.
Them doctors like to tell you, okay, push on my arm, and they're like, oh, you're good. It's like, no.
Bro,
not for what I'm trying to do.
They can bite the meat. My shit doesn't work.
Right.
So it's weird. I can't. It's like I'm cursed. Like, did I make a deal with the devil? Why does my bicep shut off? How'd it happen? From non-use?
Trying to. Could be up in your shoulder. Who knows, man?
Yeah, I got some acupuncture last week and felt like I broke my arm. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Freaking hurt. Afterwards. I don't know. I'm just desperate, but I'll just run this show and not worry about it.
You ain't no spring chicken anymore, man.
Nah, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got some people in here. I'm gonna officially start the show. Welcome everybody to East Ohio Arm Wrestling Podcast. Welcome, Joel Hudick, our co-host. Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
And our guest for this week, the legend himself, Mr. Cobra Rhodes. Welcome to the show, Cobra.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Billy. Appreciate you. Brother Joel.
Man, I appreciate you so much for coming on the podcast. Joel, thank you again for being
having me. I appreciate
the host this week, man. We really appreciate you guys being here. Cobra, first thing I want to kind of ask you, for the people that don't know, where did the nickname Cobra come from?
My buddy Gabe Accardi from back home, Rhode Island. Yeah, my technique, it kind of resembled the old Puff Hatter. And I used to, like, before Michael Jordan, I used to pull with my tongue out all the time. So I read some Japanese stuff talking about getting the most power out of a relaxed jaw. And I fell into that. Kind of weird. I was just a little kid, so I was looking for any edge to be the best arm wrestler I could. And then my tongue just started coming out and it just became second nature. Yeah. And so Gaby called me Cobra, and Mike Petrarca and those guys, Bobby Booth, they called me Cobra. Then a few people did. And then after working with Stallone on Over the Top, when Stallone calls you Cobra, everyone calls you Cobra.
Yeah, that's your name now.
Yeah, it was a wrap, pretty much. That was it.
So Cobra, where are you originally from? You said Rhode Island?
East Providence, Rhode Island, Rumford, right on the Seekonk, Massachusetts line.
So you were born over there?
Yeah, about a 58-minute drive from Boston, Georgia's main hub.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When did you make the move over to Fort Wayne?
Oh man, my compass broke probably, but 90, about 2 years before Tiger won the Masters, 95.
Okay, so you were over in Rhode Island for a while then. Okay.
No, I was in Rhode Island. I was gypsy, man. I was everywhere. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, right out of I mean, when I did Over the Top, I graduated high school 84, got the invite for Over the Top in 85. We shot it in 86.
Nice.
So, yeah, then Marvin Cohen moved me out to Hollywood for a little bit. Went out there, did that thing, and got the hell out of there.
So while we're on it, you want to just go ahead and that was going to be one of my questions. How did Over the Top come about? Like, just go ahead into that spiel. Like how
Marvin
did you
Cohen.
end up in the movie?
It's all pretty much Marvin Cohen and Sly. If you had a little rapport with Sly, I built a little rapport with him through Marvin. So he was like, "You want your Screen Actors Guild card?" I was like, "What's that?" And then next thing, Marvin's coming up to me saying, "Hey, you're going to be the referee, so I want you to be the referee in the finals." So, that's that.
Cool stuff there.
I wasn't like on the Weinstein couch or something. I didn't
Right.
banged out. It just happened naturally.
Good. You were kind of training though Sly for kind of showing him how to make this look real.
Yeah. There was like no like official trainer, but like those of us that were close to Marvin and Marvin. Right. I mean, Marvin knew how to move and shake. At the time he was vice president of Canon Films.
Yeah.
So, and like the head of their marketing, of course, you saw all the commercials in that movie.
I've actually talked to Marv on the phone a few times. Like, he's interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I worked with him. Dave Patton worked with him. John blah blah. Several people worked with him, but some of us got more time with him than others. As when you're good at communicating with people, sometimes they'll use you a little more.
Yep.
So Absolutely. How did you meet Mr. Cohen?
Through phone call. He reached out to me. He called me. There was a guy, his assistant, his name was Andrew Gomez. He's the one that first reached out to me. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we want you to come. Can you come to this tournament in Houston? We're doing this thing, blah, blah, blah." And then there was one in New York. And then Marvin's like, "Hey, you're in. I need you to be out here like 2 weeks before." He had me out there 2 weeks before the tournament. And
oh man,
this was the biggest thing happening in arm wrestling period at the time, right?
Yeah. It was, and at the time, Sly was the biggest thing in Hollywood too. So that was really, really weird. And I mean, I'm a 20-year-old kid out there, standing beside this guy, and I was out there way too early.
Oh, okay.
I think you told me some stories about it.
Huh? Yeah. Not for. Yeah. No.
Cobra, can you kind of go over how you got into arm wrestling originally, and like what attracted you to the sport, and how did it first start for you?
In the schoolroom, the school lunchroom, and study hall. You're hitting it for the lunch money, and the money matches started going up, and bigger upperclassmen, and then kids from other schools. I was the arm wrestling kid. So like it turned into a Friday thing. Friday with the big money matches. You can make close to $100 in about 2-3 matches back then. And we're talking 1980, 1979, 1980 then. And then someone said, "Hey," came into school after one of the money matches, like, "Oh, there's this tournament, like 79, 80. I mean, I have to find out exactly when that open was. But it was a big tournament they had in Rhode Island, and all the top guys were there. I know in hindsight now. And the winner of each class, they sent out to Petaluma for the World Wrist Wrestling. And I ended up going to the tournament in Rhode Island, and I took a second place to a guy who, to a big boy. And I think he finished like third at nationals, like a couple months before Jeff Goulet. And that was it, seeing like all these adults and stuff running up to my dad and my sisters and stuff saying, "Who's this kid?" Kind of like, "Oh shit, they're talking about me. Well, I like this shit. Let's go."
At that point, did you know what your technique was? or was it just
No,
like the
no,
whole?
I was running away from power. My technique then was don't get pinned. You can outlast them.
That's a damn good technique.
Yeah. So I pretty much I did a kind of like a sling out the back door top roll. It was a running away top roll, but I learned to close my hand into it and impose my will over the years. Obviously,
at that point, did you know what you were doing? Like, as far as did you know that was your technique?
Yeah, I was pissing off a lot of grown men. I know that's what I was doing.
Perfect.
I know that's what I was doing. They didn't like it very much,
Wow.
Yeah. Like in that shot behind me, I'm like 16, 17.
That's awesome.
Until the stud I'm pulling he's not 16 or 17.
No.
Right.
That's a grown ass man right there.
That's awesome. We got a few people in the chat. Justin Schaefer says, Justin Schaffner says, "What's up, Cobra and Joel?" What's up, Justin?
What's up, Justin?
John Isola's here. He said, "What up, dudes?"
What's good? What's good?
Otha's here. What up, Otha? Logan Cooper, he's here. What up, fellas? Hi, Logan. What's up, brother? Poseo TV, he's here. He said, hello, gentlemen. What's up, Poseo? How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight, man? Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate everybody in the chat.
Poseo make them sick videos, right?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started out on the lunchroom just like most of everybody. Was there like a certain somebody that like kind of took you under their wing after learning?
A gentleman named Mike Petrarca. Mike Petrarca from Rhode Island. He was a world champion, and he took Gabe Accardi and myself under his wing. Awesome. And then I had, of course, right away, like guys like Norm Levesque. Well, that's Al Turner there in that picture, head referee. You heard of him, the godfather of arm wrestling.
Yeah,
I have.
That's Al Turner. And Norm Levesque is the ref with his back to the photo, the side ref. So I had all those people, Norm Devio, a lot of people. My dad loved Norm Devio, so I got to go to the Norm's workouts, as well as Bobby Booth and Mike Petrarca's there in Rhode Island. But that was a big deal to get to go out to Brockton there and go.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, we're good.
Lost the audio.
We're good. All better. Yeah. So Norm circle with that kind of horsepower. Norm Devio, Michael Petrarca, Bob Booth, even the guys from Pennsylvania way, guys like Mike Androvic, all those guys. There was some real gritty guys, and as a little skinny kid, I had to figure out a way to stay alive in the match, and it just continued. I continued to piss men off.
Yeah.
And here I am.
What kind of got you into the sport? Like, why did you choose the path of arm wrestling? Like,
it just showed itself to me, and there was some tax-free money in school. I was making money. Me and my buddy Alan Mitchell, he had a little more bread than me, so he put up a lot of the money, and it was like, all right, we're splitting it down the middle. We thought no one could beat me. It was that kind of shit.
Right.
So it was like he was more than happy to put the money up.
Yep.
And
that's awesome.
Super successful businessman now he is, and took over his dad's
smart
business.
Guy.
Yeah. Give him a call, try to get my cut. I don't think he'll take my call now. The guy's doing so well. But that's kind of how it laid out. And then I, had to be a good kid and to go to tournaments, because early my dad had to, be on it with me. But I mean, right out of, just think I was doing over the top when I was 20. So it was a pretty quick ascent to being, I don't know, recognized or given a status of ass kicker or something like.
I was just trying to think of what I was doing when I was 20, and it wasn't anything near that cool. So
you're
20, you're not all there.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
Steve Pettit. He's in the chat. He says, "What's up, guys?" He also said the story of you and Steve Cox living together, and the only thing you had in the living room was an arm wrestling table.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So is that true?
Yeah. Muskegon,
Right.
Michigan. Yeah. Had my first child in that town.
Muskegon, holy shit.
Yeah, Muskegon. What is it? Apple? The street? Is that Main Street? The Apple?
We have to see if Roger Cunningham's in the chat. I think Roger's from Muskegon, so I've been up there. I can't think.
Yeah, we used to do it up. We used to have them pig roasts with Dan Simila and all those guys out on the campground. The good old days.
Awesome.
Also asked, do I remember recording the DVD Secrets of the Pro? Yeah, I remember doing that. Yeah. That was some old slick
Secrets of the Pros
guy. Some slick guy that burned us on some DVD. Yeah, it's arm wrestling. It's whatever, dude.
We always get burnt in arm wrestling.
It's arm wrestling. Yeah, you're burning yourself getting involved in it.
Let me ask you. How about the Game of Arms? We kind of went over how you got into the movie with Sly. How about Game of Arms? How did that come about for you?
They came. I mean, I met a guy. I was at the Arnold once. That I think it was the year I put it to who took second to me. Maybe the kid they call Flash, Corey Miller.
Mm-hmm.
I put it to him. That's the first time I had ever pulled him, but I showed him how. And they had a guy there that was filming, a guy who his name was, I think, Jeff Perez, whatever. He's actually got an ESPN 30 for 30, a show called The Real Rocky.
I've seen it.
But yeah, same guy that did that. And he was actually their first scout for the show, and he was there at the Arnold. And he played Woody a little bit, and they came to me. No, this was the next year. It was the next year. I mean, I did that little bit with him. Then the next year was Ben and those guys, the guys that were on the project. That guy was a scout like the year before. And so I was like, I gave him a couple hours of my time in the motel room. He's asking me stuff, and I'm like, whatever. It's fucking arm wrestling, bro. Don't take it too serious. Really, that was like my attitude.
Right.
And because this is all after my wreck. After 2001, bro, I haven't been worth a shit on an arm wrestling tape.
Better than most.
I really didn't care, I just thanks, Joe. I really didn't, I mean, I'd show up a little bit and try, but I mean, after I pull, I suffer for a month, my lower back. It just never, it took a long, long time. And
you was in a car accident.
Yeah. And so I really didn't give a shit. And then they were getting closer and closer, and they came to my house and did this little piece. And I'm giving them little bits. I'm being honest with them, saying, I really don't arm wrestle anymore. You know what I mean? But they just kept. I guess they want a little diversity in the fucking thing or something. But I just held out. And the number was proper.
Right.
Yeah, what do these guys get? And it's like, fucking, these guys are doing this shit for nothing. It's like, fucking, all right.
I'm tired of doing this shit for nothing.
Yeah. So they gave me the proper number. And I looked at Mom and said, hey, I'll holler at you. I'll be back. I'll drive home and see the kids. Woo, but I got to get down to my spot down in Kansas City. Tell these people that I'm from Kansas City for this fucking show. And I'll send you, some money for the nanny and woo.
That's cool.
And so the number was right.
Well, that's awesome.
Perfect.
And then I got my number for season 2, and I got it all up front.
No shit.
They never even ended up doing it. That's hilarious.
Good deal.
So
Yeah,
Couldn't get
no
that
one
much.
was no one was happier to see it end than me.
Right. Especially when you already got paid. Hell with it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry.
So as far as Game of Arms, I whenever I was watching it, the thing that really stood out about the show was the relationship with your protege Ethan Fritchie. Man, I really enjoyed that part of the show. And
I known Ethan all his life, and his dad, of course, I know forever. Ethan's an awesome kid. That show can give you a little freedom there too. Ethan already came packed. I've always given, like all arm wrestlers, we always help each other out. But there was nothing extra special I did to make Ethan better, except maybe mentally. You know what I mean? That kid is a walking stick of dynamite all by himself.
Yep.
But that's Hollywood. They're making you know what I mean?
they did a great job with it.
Yeah. And that's another thing, not to even pull a race issue. It's very rare that you see on television, on network television, a little white kid like looking up, being mentored by a brother. Where have you ever seen that?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I thought, even though it was bullshit, they made, we had a good crew. It was good. It was good. And the people we worked with, of course, friggin' genius. Multi Emmy award winners and Oscar nominees, really talented, as you saw by the pictures of that show. The pictures were really good.
Yeah. So when it comes down to teaching, like you took that role on in the show, is teaching arm wrestling, is that something that you enjoy in your normal everyday life?
That's just the part. That's just what I am. I am arm wrestling. I mean, that's what I do. That's Joel could probably answer that question better for you.
I'm just thinking back, like I would ask Cobra a question. I'd turn like, hey, what do I got to do to beat this guy? He would just say, pin him. Like, okay, thanks. Close your hand. Just enough to get you thinking. Just enough to,
Yeah, you got to put it in. Arm wrestling's not for the faint of heart.
No, I remember being down at the Arnold one year. I was like a year, maybe 2 years into the sport. Cobra's there, and it was my first time at the Arnold. I went 2-0. I pulled like shit. I was nervous, scared, all that. I walk away, and Cobra's like, "Man, hey, you did good, man." I said, "I'm thinking, shut the fuck up." I said, "Have you ever won 2-0 in a tournament before?" And he says, "Never, once in my life." Like, I appreciate that.
I'm sorry. No.
That was perfect.
I
learned to not do that again.
Yeah, don't do that. Remember, when your opponent has you in trouble, hit him.
So what other roles, acting roles, has been out there? I know you had that one. It was like a Civil War kind of thing. Is that?
Yeah, the Emancipation, starring the Slapper, the Will Smith film, and I just completed a documentary for the folks at Nat Geo, portraying old Bass Reeves, the real Lone Ranger.
Wow. That's
the last work I've done. I've read for a show called 1923, starring Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren.
Oh, how awesome is that?
Yeah, I've read for it twice now. And
that's one of the Yellowstone spinoffs?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd love to see the phone ring again, have me back, but right now I'm just floating. I mean, I do this stuff with no management. No, it's all just contacts and people that I know that know what I'm capable of. So so that's a little something.
That's cool.
I'm an idiot. What have I done?
Let's check out the chat here real quick.
There you go.
Let's see here. Poseo asked, "Is Bucky Russell Robbie Russell's dad?" Check out that background. That's awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Bass Reeves shoot.
That's sweet. Beast.
That's Joel, right? Yeah.
That is cool. Anybody know that? Bucky Russell, is that Robbie Russell's dad?
Yeah, I know Bucky. I know Bucky, North Carolina. Yeah. If in North Carolina, that's Bucky's boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
From down there.
Lawrenceville, he's here. What's up, Lawrence?
Is Bucky stronger in hell?
Well, Bucky used to be strong as hell. I haven't seen him in a minute. I haven't seen a lot of guys in a minute. I really don't go to arm wrestling tournaments that much. I'm busy here cooking.
Hey, since this is an Ohio podcast, and there's probably some people from Meta Misery watching.
Hey, what up, Meta Misery?
Can you give your, I guess, how you and Dan Victor became friends, maybe, and just kind of that story?
Yeah, Sweets and I met through Bill Ballinger.
Okay.
Who met Dan when they had him. Okay, there were these matches, right? There was a bar called Sticks and Stones, a pool hall down in Indianapolis. It was owned by a guy named John Learm. They had me come down there for a match against John Learm. It was like 20 grand. One match. No race to two. No, one match.
Just one match.
Oh,
somebody's gonna say go.
Yeah, just one match. And like the guy Darren Debrin, I was in Muskegon at the time. Guy flies me from Muskegon to Indy, picks me up at the airport. We already got coordinated. Bill Ballinger and it might have been Youngster, it might have been James Horn, referee. They bring the table in to this dark, dingy pool hall. They're like laughing at me when they see me walk in. This guy's got all slicksters and hustlers and I mean, just like a movie, you walk into this place and it's like dark and friggin' trench coats, the whole friggin' formula of what the fuck am I doing here?
Right. Am I gonna get the hell out of here?
But yeah, they started laughing when they saw the skinny pimp. And it almost like what guys were talking about calling it off because we didn't even have enough money. Like these guys would have bet 50 grand, but we came up just shy of 25 grand. With I had some work from my sponsors, I got it, I can't lose. And they said go and whiplash, wind burn. I gave the guy wind burn. And he like hugged me. Yeah, thank you for the match, blah, blah, blah. Gave me like an extra 5 grand because he was so happy that he like saved money. If I should, in hindsight, now I knew like then that I should have pushed this match back just one more week till one more of my sponsors would have come through with like 30 more grand,
Right.
But that we missed the boat.
Yeah.
Took us to dinner, probably dropped 3 grand on dinner, the wines I was ordering. I was ordering Chateau Lafite, like a 78 bottle Chateau Lafite, 1978 bottle Chateau Lafite. Like $1,200 bottle of wine. But this guy was balling out like that. And I know my wines and food. So I was like, yeah, I'll have this with the ribeye. And that's how it went. And then like, I was like, I got a match for you. I'll give you 20 grand. None of your money. You just take 20 grand, win or lose. I'm like, yeah, anywhere, anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was up that way, Toledo way. The match was.
Yep.
And it was this dude, this big tall dude. And the last week, I already had my ticket and everything. He got cold feet and brought in John Brzenk.
I've read that, heard that story from Bill and some of them guys.
He got cold feet because he thought I was too small. And they brought in John. The guy, he doesn't know about arm wrestling at the time, This is before the interwebs and such.
Well, John was only 195 pounds back then, right?
No, he was like 220.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he was like 220. It's very rare John's been 98. John worked to cut down to that something below 200.
Right.
But I mean, I've never pulled him when he was less than 215, 220.
Right. He's a big solid dude for sure.
But but this guy was like 6'6", something, the big redhead dude. And I don't know, I never saw the guy. But Yeah, they flew Brzezinski in and he waxed him. And I know he didn't get the same number that I was gonna get. You know what I mean? He got a little number. Nice guy, John. And yeah, his brother Bill, it gave him like a couple grand to bet on himself. And John was so chicken shit, he didn't bet his brother's money on himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. So, John worked him and that was that. And that was the end of that hook. But those pool players, man, those guys will bet. They'll bet $1,000 on against each other on who walks in the bar next, a man or a woman.
Oh yeah.
Those guys, they wake up gambling, they go to sleep gambling on stupid shit. And it's crazy.
High card, just $100, stupid shit.
Yeah, $1,000, $2,000 on high card.
Yep.
Like, holy shit. Yeah. Yeah. I don't mind if they want to take you to dinner, go to dinner.
You met my buddy Mitch. He does that sometimes.
Yeah. Is he shooting pool?
He's just betting on shit. Just whatever. Next car that drives by is gonna be a red. $100.
Right. Yeah, that's how those guys are. That's how those guys are. And the old sugar trick on the ice cube with the fly, whose fly is gonna land on? A fly will land on my glass before yours.
So that thing up in Toledo happened, and
Victor was there.
Bates was part of that somehow, or
who was?
Victor helped set that up, or he knew the guys.
No, he was just there witnessing it.
Okay.
And couldn't believe that John beat this big guy.
Right.
And he ended up talking to Bill and and blah, blah, blah. And there he was.
Yep.
Because, Dan thought he was a pretty good arm wrestler, but he turned out to be.
Yes.
Yeah. Took a little work, but he got it done.
Yep.
Big
sweets. Boy there.
Yeah. All heart. Yep. My man, my little brother.
Let's go ahead and hit the chat real quick. Lawrence Bells, he's here. He said, how's it going, everybody? What's up, Lawrence?
Hey,
Wilkie's here. What's up, boys? Glad to see you. Hi, Wilkie. What's up, Jeff? Josh Batchelor's here. He says, what, yo? What's up, Josh? Pulseo TV asks, whatever happened to Ethan?
Ethan's married up. He's having his fun doing his rock climbing thing. He's loving life.
Cool.
Yeah, Ethan's loving life. He
Peterson arm wrestling is here.
He shows up to a couple little pulls here and there, but Ethan's a special person, super talented kid, and of course, world champion gamer.
Right.
Yeah, I heard that.
There's more money in that than there is arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those guys are playing video games for $200,000.
Yeah. I'm talking
crazy.
I'm talking like what 15, 16 years ago, those guys won 2 years in a row, him and his cousin Gabriel, and the 4-man teams in that what's the kill game?
Oh boy.
Probably Halo.
No, another one. Something of war.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yes.
Yeah.
Or is there something of war? No, Call of Duty.
Modern Warfare.
No, Call of Duty. I think.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Anyway, they won it 2 years in a row, like 50 grand. You got 15, 16-year-old kids splitting 50 grand. That ain't too shabby.
Jesus.
No.
Play a game.
Not at all. Let's see here. Chucky Peterson arm wrestling. He's here. He said, "Hey Billy, Cobra, and Joel. What's up, Chucky?
What's up, dude?
What up?
Top Hands polling team. They commented, Cobra come to the Sit Down Nationals, Yorktown, Virginia, April 22nd, 2023.
This is how the sport of have an engagement. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think that's Stanaway and the kids shows. I'm pretty sure I have an engagement on the 22nd. I think I've got a voiceover contract on that weekend.
They also said this is how the sport of arm wrestling started, was sit down and pulling.
Mm-hmm.
Toby Sanchez, he's here. He said, "Hey, buddy, what up, Toby?"
Right there.
Toby is a beast.
He is a beast.
Michael Malone, he's here. He said, all right. What's up, Mike? Joshua Devin Croxall, my teammate Josh. He says, hello, what's up, Josh? Tracy Hare, arm wrestling.
Great
Cobra.
question, Tracy.
He said, Cobra, when I see you arm wrestling so many times, your hand is behind your shoulder and you're surging so hard. Were you just confident in your frame? Did it hurt?
Oh yeah, arm wrestling hurts, but no, not many times. I really haven't been in bad position that many times. That's what I think has held me up. Sometimes, I mean, I've had my desperate times, but I was always confident in my hand keeping the power, holding my angle. So it looks much worse than it is.
Yep.
My hand took a lot of heat. My hand absorbed a lot of energy from my opponents. I found a way with the hand of explosion.
Can you kind of go over that? That was going to be my next question, actually. Can you explain to the new guys in the chat or anybody that's watching the exploding hand technique? Can you kind of explain that to them?
Kind of can't. You have to feel. You have to do it. You have to close your hand. Not squeezing your hand. You have to close your hand. You have to be in. You have to. It's really like, it might sound like mumbo jumbo to you, but you have to. It's a committal. You don't do this and you're good at it. You
right.
have to make pain your friend to get good at this. And
if you ever look at Cobra's hand, his right hand is just different than his left hand.
Yeah,
it's taller. It's just different.
The bones are bigger.
Yeah, it's something. You got it's impressive. It's weird.
But a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work. What a waste.
Let's see here.
My God, what have I done with my life?
Steve Pettis, he says, Fort Wayne basement days, quote, happy.
Happy, yeah. That's the old James Horn streets going at. We used to, because those guys, they used to be arguing and talking about the grit. And that's good, Steve. And Dan Victor's like, oh, I didn't know we're going on happy. Because he was like, I'm happy, let's go, I'm happy. Was it Mike Bowling or something? He goes, Dan Victor's like, oh, the rules of arm wrestling have changed? We're going on happy now? But yeah, because the rep says, everybody happy? And yeah, happy. Yeah, we're going on happy now. Yeah, good time. Good time.
Happy?
Yeah,
that's good.
Top Hands Pulling Team, he said, yes, it is Stanway. Top Hands Pulling Team also says, was at Steve's house pulling last night.
Sweet.
Let's see here. Toby Sanchez, he says, not a beast for a while. That left-handed match with Chris Jellings gave me a hairline fracture in my elbow. Oh, no.
It's all part of the building.
Well, at least it was your left hand. At least it was your left elbow, Toby. That don't matter anyway. No, it's like I'm just joking.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys are in a hurry to win too, and it's I understand it, but it's you better like, so especially you new guys that are really testing your frames and what your arm's capable of. There's a process to this thing. You know, and I'm not talking about shattered arms. I'm talking about the longevity of your arm wrestling career. It's winning right now is nowhere near as important as learning how to arm wrestle properly. And like I always say, I mean, practice should be slow motion and take it to the point where without injuring yourself, you can experience as much pain as possible.
Right.
And then build off of that. But the flash pin isn't making you any better as an arm wrestler.
Mm-mm.
You gotta really break down the process and understand what you want to do. And my best advice to everyone is close your hand. Start with your hand, because if that grows with your game, it's very difficult for people to touch your jock, even, you know, because if your hand says no, they're fucked.
Yeah, it took me a long time to learn that. I started out ass backwards.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? But you don't. I mean, I'm not trying to like blow myself or anything, but you don't run into many cats that are telling you slow all this shit down. You remember how my sessions went?
Yeah, we wouldn't even pull hard.
Yeah,
just
but blow you up, you know.
Yeah.
Remember
Oh,
them,
yeah.
remember them hold and count exercises?
Yeah, I still do that at practice.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's one of the greatest building things, and as realistic to the struggle before a go as you're ever going to have.
Right.
And then when you get to the real show, and that it's easy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I learned not to even waste my energy, you know, and I don't waste my energy in a setup anymore. It's just a huge waste of time, I think. Just close them for us. I don't want to do this shit.
Yeah, the chatty Cathy time. Don't need the chatty Cathy time. Just close your hands. Let's go.
Close your hand.
Yeah. Steve Pettis says, love it. I'm assuming
happy days. He remembers happy days.
Mike Malone, he says, those are some amazing words of wisdom. Thank you for that.
Easy day, Mike. Easy day.
Yeah.
Easy day.
Yeah.
So,
So,
going on happy.
I wanted to ask you, Cobra, is there a favorite match that you remember of you competing in, like one that you really was just super happy with, win or loss, you know, one of your favorite
Johnny Walker. But my match with Johnny Walker for sure. I lost that, but it's probably one of the best matches of my career.
Huge Johnny Walker fan. He's my idol.
And then there's this match, which was a double elimination overall for $1,000. I had to put it to Gary Goodrich back in 87, 86.
No kidding. Gary's just a big, powerful dude.
Yeah, you can see him there. Yeah, I've got him desperate at that point, as you can see, as I close my hand on him.
I think that's the position Tracy was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was arm wrestling there, huh? But yeah, Gary's fucked.
Yes, he is. He knows it too.
Yeah, but that's my little brother. But yeah, that's got to be one of them, I think. Yeah, you can hardly see it, huh?
So many. It's like hard to.
I look mean, don't I?
Yeah, that hand right there.
Yeah, not letting him get away.
No. That's actually one thing that I kind of took from you, was not letting somebody off the hook.
Yeah,
watching you do that, loved it.
Yeah, make them pay, and they just make mistakes.
Right.
Desperation's coming.
Yep.
Yeah, that started in the mid '80s. See.
Yep. Hey, it's good stuff.
Yeah, old school. Yeah, a little old school.
Cobra, I was also kind of wanting to ask you if I was watching some old videos. It was like a 10-year-old video or something like that on YouTube. It was a local news station that did a piece on you.
Yeah, probably for the first.
Probably, and you kind of went over like a medal count of what you did back then. Do you happen to have, like, at this point, any kind of idea of your medal count, like overall from your entire career?
No, bro. I don't even have an arm wrestling award in my house, bro. There's not one trophy in this joint. I don't. Arm wrestling isn't the. Yeah. No.
I remember you saying that recently that you didn't have any of them.
Yeah, and like listen, there's some like bunk world titles too that, like, they weren't world tournaments, but they called them it. But I just went because the money was there, so I had to get it. But I mean, legitimate world titles. What I would, in my book, I'd say I've won 27 of them. Yeah, and that's what, 6, 7 WAF worlds. But as far as pro shows, yeah, did it.
That's all.
And listen, but 12 of those, I went to shows that weren't called worlds, and they were tougher,
right,
than those world tournaments. So all that 100 million weight classes or something, or 100 million world it really don't matter, man. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You look at the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
you know, over you like span 2 decades and pull 2, 3, and 4 weight classes every time you show up.
Dang.
You know, have the heavyweight saying, dude, are you going to heavyweight again? You know,
As soon as you walk in there, everybody's asking you, what are you pulling today?
yeah. So that, I mean, I'm not trying to suck myself off, but the facts are there. This shit, these people are seeing on YouTube now. Listen, there's nothing of my shit. I never carried a video, but I'll tell you what, every time I was on that table, I know every camera was out. They're not trying to show a brother putting his foot in asses. Guys don't want to share that shit. They don't want to share the skinny pimp giving them wind burn. Think about it. Because I don't know. Joel, what do you think? I don't know. The video's there.
Well,
people have shot this video, correct?
Yeah.
But where is it? All you see on YouTube is me losing.
Wow, I'm trying to think here. I'm just trying to think of like, when did YouTube become a popular, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but still that
right.
Video is there.
Right.
A lot of people have video. They're not
sure.
coming off it. And I understand it because they're getting their ass handed to them.
Too bad there was no video cameras back in Slim's back in the mid 90s when you showed up there to whoop some ass.
Quit it. I didn't show up there to whoop ass.
I know you didn't.
Someone else showed up there to get their ass whooped.
That's how I was introduced to Cobra.
Let me check on the boy. You tell the story. I gotta check on the baby.
All right.
Good with that story, Joel.
Well, this is back in the, I don't know, sometime in the late 90s. There's a bar up in Metamora. It was called Slim's back then. This place was like the Double Deuce from the movie Roadhouse. Like there was a fight going on every Friday and Saturday, you know. And I'm trying to think of how this all happened. Cobra used to come into town and train with Dan Victor and probably Balinger, whoever was coming to practice. He'd come spend the weekend with Victor and Phil Reese and these guys, and they'd do their training, and then they'd go uptown and get some dinner, you know, probably get a few drinks and
half and halves.
Yeah. Oh, that was Ventura's days too.
Mm-hmm.
Probably went to Ventura's first.
Yeah.
Then they get it up into Slim's there, and there's this dumb redneck dude. We'll just call him Bob because that's what his name is.
Poor bastard.
And he decides that he's going to pick a fight with Cobra and Dan and these guys.
Oh boy.
Bob decides it's a good idea to call Cobra the N-word. And oh shit. That's how I was introduced to Cobra. He actually, I think, was it like a wheel kick or just a front kick or what was it?
Yeah, just a nice little
kick.
Widowmaker. Just a little widowmaker to the dome.
Knocked Bob out, broke his glasses. Bob's unconscious. Huge mess at the bar. Totally Bob's fault. Actually, every time I see Bob, I bring that up, and he's like,
"Oh, the poor bastard."
He's like, "I'm so stupid."
Oh, the poor bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. Back in those days, though, man, you didn't walk into that bar and you did not mess with Dan Victor or anybody he was with. That was just like a rule.
Yeah, you have to be an idiot.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, everybody tiptoed around that dude back then. And not because he was a mean guy. He could be.
No, he was the sweetest boy ever.
Just so massive, and and he wasn't.
Yeah. The chances are anyone that was with him was much more badder dude than him. Yeah.
Like, when Phil was walking around, nobody messed with Phil either.
Like, I give a fuck, Phil.
Yeah. Exactly.
That was his line, wasn't it?
That guy give a fuck. And I can't whistle like him, but you remember the whistle.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was with him the day Dale Earnhardt died.
Oh, no kidding?
I was with him. Yeah.
No
he was a wreck for a week, dude.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was suicidal.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, he was a huge fan, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What the hell were you guys? Were you guys up at Phil's place there? Or was
we're that little trailer because I was helping him out with a couple mud jobs.
Yeah. Right out on Fulton Lucas and Central area.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy days, man. Those are
Oh yeah.
Let's check out the chat, guys. Let's see here.
Phil's a maniac. Good dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Wilkie said in the chat, yeah, I think you're talking about slow polling and whatnot. Yeah, we appreciate that coming from you. We ready go probably once every 5 to 6 weeks. We slow poll workout way up to about 80 to 100%.
Right on.
Seems like it.
Be right back, boys.
Yeah.
Right,
Steve Pettis says Delaware.
Yeah. Had some good competition in Delaware.
Yeah. Tracy Hayward, yes it is. Tracy asks, what was it like pulling Alan Fisher?
Before my wreck, it was flawless. It was just like pulling anyone else. Yeah, before I got busted up, I was probably 7-0 against Fish Face, and never in trouble with him. But I mean, he's a great arm wrestler, but just the fact of the matter is, I never had any trouble with a lot of people before 2001, and things change.
Yeah.
So,
I wanted to ask you about your trip to Turkey, Cobra. Can you kind of go over what happened for that, and how did you enjoy your trip and everything?
Of course, I enjoyed myself like 1,000,000%. It was great. Got to feed the kiddies, drink some lion's milk, eat up a little, couple kebabs, and get my ass whooped on the arm wrestling table. It was great.
I know he wasn't real happy about that, but I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
So I didn't have any bicep, and the guy that I was pulling he was loaded for bear. He was ready.
Oh yeah.
I was not.
And then so you got your East versus West qualifier coming up here.
Yes, April
a little
Fool's
over
Day.
a month.
April
That's
1st.
Yep.
Yeah, it should be a good show. Gonna raise some money for the Forward Foundation, a youth mentoring group that two of my sons went through. Two of my sons that are at IU now and still come back and mentor and do some good for the community. So gonna raise some bread. Hope to throw at least a stack in their little scholarship fund.
Awesome.
For
Cool.
season. And grip them and rip them. Promote arm sports a little bit.
I'm gonna start training for that tonight. So
yeah, brother. Yeah. Get her did. I might throw a ref shirt on you for the amateurs or something, Joe.
That's all right.
I'll buy you a beer, twist one up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's make it 2 beers though.
Hey, all right. I can handle that, brother. I can handle that.
Cobra,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you're not going to be competing at the event or anything like that, right?
No, I have no reason to compete, bro.
Yeah.
No. I mean, if my bicep starts working, I'm not, but right now all I'm doing is I'm like a cartoon getting pounded, I look fine, but it really hurts.
Right.
I mean, we all do have a little bit of ego, and catching windburn like every single match really blows.
Yeah.
So I think I'll just do what I'm good at right now and produce this show.
Yeah, there you go.
I will be there.
Nice.
Let's see. Tracy asked, well, before I jump off here, it's an honor to see you compete over the years, and so glad to see you on the podcast. Steel Giraffe. I don't know why he's calling you Steel Giraffe.
Oh, is that like one of Nanostat's guys or something?
I don't know. I don't
Steel
know.
Giraffe is Nicholas Nanostat.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's Nick Nanostad, Tracy.
Yep.
Look him up.
Cobra is Cobra.
Yeah. Wilkie, let's see, Cobra, you think the travel to the other side of the world affects the way the competitors compete to the point of giving them a severe disadvantage?
Nah, I call bullshit on that, on the whole jet lag stuff. Listen, man, back when I was traveling like a dog, man, I'd drink a half a bottle of vodka before I got off the plane and go right to the table. So, some guys, some guys can't get it up all the time. I was always, I was always hard, and I don't know, maybe I did make a deal with the devil, but I know I was always hard.
That's how I look at it, the same way you do,
Yeah. I mean,
we
if you
party and we're doing our thing, and
get there a day before and you should be fine. But I mean, if you can get there a few days earlier, go ahead and acclimate. But I mean, it's suck them down on the plane and sleep half the trip. What do we, some guys just want to land on the ground and start crying already before they even get there.
Take a nap at the table before they call your name. Just get up and go whoop somebody's ass.
I mean, what? You're a grown ass man. John, so thank you for the question. Yep. John asked Cobra, what would your advice be to someone that struggles with mental block during competition? Do you have a pre-match routine? What would help break through that? I guess it depends on the athlete, and you'd have to know your strong points and the points. I won't say weak points, but you have to know your strong points. What your better tendencies are, and try to lean away from the ones that you consider deficits. So that's all something I think that happens within you yourself. There's sometimes in, you're not gonna get all philosophical, but there's sometimes in life when the shit hits the fan, you have to search in yourself and first of all get rid of all excuses and just give yourself up bare naked to the fact of I'm gonna win or I'm gonna lose. And what's going to get me in the best position to win. And that starts way before you get to that tournament. So if you do the work, your confidence should carry over.
I actually train with John, and it's I know what he's taught. It's a lot of, you need repetition, make it, you walk up with your checklist in your mind, and you've done this 1,000 times already. You've already arm wrestled. Now you're just giving it 200%, not training.
Yeah. Whiplash.
Yep.
Whiplash. Where are all those videos, Joel? Think about it though. Think about all the classes I went. Where's all those videos?
That's a great question. We'll have to ask Pettis. Pettis, you still here?
Someone's got them. You know what I mean? You have to have them because I noticed it. Of course I noticed it. They'd stop the other tables.
I never thought of it because Steve Pettis has got to be in the chat here. He knows where they're at.
If I'm pulling 2 or 3 classes, right? And every time, every time I got to the table, they shut down the match at the other table.
What's funny is I was actually not too long ago watching, for some reason, Michigan State, like 2013 or something popped up. I have no idea. And you were just about to pull Big Bob Bishop, and the fucking camera shut off. And you whacked him. You whacked him, and then they came back on.
That's all right. It's all right. Bob's a good kid.
Great question.
Well, he tipped the scales, didn't he? He was 400 plus, wasn't he?
He probably a lot bigger than that. 6'8", 500.
Yeah.
He was a massive dude.
He was a big dude.
He still is a big dude.
His hand was supple though. His hand and wrist, and could always attack it.
Right. Yeah, he's just a massive he was the size of a doorway,
Yeah.
One of those dudes.
Big man. Eclipse.
Yep.
Hey, Cobra, I wanted to ask you also, as far as arm wrestling, is there, I was wondering what your biggest challenge was, your biggest match, something that you really trained for. Do you remember anything like that?
No, nothing that I went like nuts about, because I felt like I really was arm wrestling was, I arm wrestled all the time, so I was always ready. I mean, I was going to world tournaments and hustling matches before my class, getting money matches. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
I mean, I was ready. I was ready to arm wrestle. Now,
there's a difference between a lot of guys that are doing it now, and I think the way you always did it too. You know, a lot of you see these guys doing these big lifts in the gym and all this big crazy
Yeah.
I think you were just arm wrestling and thinking about arm wrestling.
yeah.
I don't know, them big lifts, everybody, all this crazy shit. Like I don't know if that's even.
Yeah, I think I specialized in taking those big lifts out of guys. I got them in a weak position.
Right, exactly. To me, that's just a big waste of time for some people, I guess.
And it took a lot of time. It takes a lot. That's why I tell people it's a process, man. Don't be in a big hurry to win.
Right.
Don't be in a big hurry to win, especially as you're going up levels of this thing. You get complacent with shitty technique, and when you get to the big show, you're going to be crushed.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to find those excuses. Oh, the ref. Oh, my pussy hurt. Oh, something.
I've found this out the hard way many times.
Yeah. So yeah, slow it down, and you're not going to get to the level if you can't be friendly with pain.
Right. Cobra, so when it comes to arm wrestling, it's kind of somewhat of a deep question. What do you want to be remembered for when it comes to arm wrestling?
Most important thing, a fair competitor. I don't think there's anyone that can say they got screwed against me at the table with referee's help or me being unethical or anything. I don't think there's anyone. I want to see the match where I screwed somebody. Show it to me. Show me. It's out there. Where's it at?
Well, I'll have to do some research on that one. I don't know.
Good luck. Good luck. I should offer a finder's fee. I want to see it.
So being one of the most fair competitors before the start.
Never got shit. Never asked for shit. Never got shit. If anything, it was the other way around.
Right.
Gave it away a little bit. Yeah.
No. It was they tried to take shit from uphill.
Oh.
Many times.
You let them have it?
Well, when a referee is trying to ass fuck you, you don't have much choice. You have to be that much better to beat your opponent and the referee.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I don't want to be remembered that way. I want to be remembered as a cheater.
Right. Yeah,
I'm not as good as Cobra, so I got to take shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it ain't fair. And listen, kids, it ain't fair. It ain't nothing fair. Don't come off that table saying, "Oh, it ain't fair," because no, it ain't. I'll tell you right now, starting off, it ain't fair.
No,
it ain't fucking fair. If you're looking for fair, you're in the wrong shit. You got to get better.
Yeah,
you got to get better.
Yep.
And make it fair for you.
Right.
Yeah, give what you want.
Yeah,
sometimes you're not gonna get what you want. You got to be better.
Yep. You got to take it too. You have to take it. I don't know how you do it, but take it. Take what you want, because they ain't gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
You guys, I love you. I love you. I love you. I gotta go read and put my son down. My 7-year-old. I love you. Thanks. Thank you. I will
thank you so much for being on the podcast, man. I really appreciate it.
Have me again. I'll gladly do it. Cobra Classic, April 1st, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Mitchell Sports Bar. What a venue. Have you guys seen the venue? Awesome.
I'll call you.
All right, brother. All right. I'm going to put the little man down right now. Power to the people.
Cobra, thank you.
Talk to you soon, man. See ya.
Peace.
Joel, we'll go ahead and continue.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You might as well finish off these last couple questions. And I tell you,
should I do it in my Cobra voice, or am I doing it?
Yeah, go right ahead. Let's see here. I think you might have did this one already, but what one piece of advice can you that you would share with the arm wrestling community?
Like the whole community as a whole?
Yeah,
newer guys.
Yep. Boy. The whole community.
I don't know, man. Like, don't put too much pressure. on yourself. I don't, if that makes any sense. Like I get a lot of people, call and they want me, hey, can you pull a super match with so-and-so on this day? It's like, and I start to stress out about it. Like, oh shit, I got to start training for this. And this is supposed to be fun. That's flat out, this is arm wrestling. It's not the end of the world. It's our hobby. So just relax. That's my advice, because as soon as you start stressing out, it's not fun anymore.
Right.
And you start to kind of get sick of it. So you got to kind of take a step back.
Yeah, that's good advice. It's definitely good advice. Don't take it too serious.
Yep.
I think a lot of the new guys, though, that the reason why they are in the sport is because they want to take something serious in their life.
Right. And that's fair. And it'll change people's lives, I think. Because you get it. I've seen guys lose 100 pounds to try to better themselves, and that's big. That's huge.
Yeah.
But it's also I started out in the sport for fun, and then it kind of grew into something more serious for a minute, and then it kind of started to stress me out. I'm like, okay, all right, let's just back up. Let's just relax, slow down, back to the drawing board, and make this fun again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what you're kind of saying is you could take it serious to a certain point.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I despise losing. I'm not going to a tournament if I'm not trying to win every single match. But to set like these big goals and going after these big sharks, and like that's stressful to me. So I need to find that motivation and try to find a balance where it's fun and not stressful.
Yeah. Well, that's good advice for sure. As far as influential for you, Joel, who do you think in your life who is the most influential person in arm wrestling for you?
Well, it all started with my Uncle Donald. My uncle was a powerful, big, strong, like dude. He was like, if he would have put his mind to it and took it to where I took it, he would have been Ron Bath. That's how big and strong he he still is. But yeah, that's where it started, definitely with him. And then, once I got into the sport, I can name, Quinlan's been a huge part, Talbot's been there for me. I could name 100 guys from Ohio and Michigan everywhere that have, influential to me, I guess. But it all started with my uncle, honestly.
That's awesome. If you could give yourself a younger version of yourself some advice, what would you tell your 25-year-old self or 20-year-old self?
I would be like, here, dude, read this book, and I would hand him there'd be so many things. I don't know. Boy, that's a great question. I don't know. There's so many things you look back, right, and you're like, I could have done this better or different, but it's really, you don't get to where you are without being kind of a dumbass and making mistakes, and how the hell are you gonna learn something if you just? And so I probably wouldn't change anything, but I don't know. Hell, I don't know what I'd tell. I would just slap the shit out of myself and say, dude. But then again, the 25-year-old version of me would have slapped the shit out of me. So I'd just, I don't know. That's a great question.
How about for arm wrestling, like in general, like for training or competing or for anything?
I tell you, I wish I would have found arm wrestling at 25. I didn't find it until I was, closer to 35. But
right.
I wish I would have, walked up to Cobra and Dan and them guys and said, hey, what do I do? Where do I go? Tell me what to do. How do I get in this? And that would have probably saved me a lot of trouble. And because I was one of them guys that probably needed a sport like arm wrestling to calm me down and keep me out of trouble and give me something to look at and train for. And
keep you kind of focused.
Right. And I used to, when I was back then, I was fighting in the Toledo Tough Man. I was running a 5K, and I was in volleyball leagues and dart leagues and golf league. I was always doing something. but never really, not until I found arm wrestling did I really find, I love arm wrestling. I did not love any of that stuff. It was fun, but once, you know how it is. You found arm wrestling, it's like, oh boy, never done drugs. This has got to be kind of like a drug, right? Like it's addictive.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
I really, to be honest with you, fell in love with the beautifulness of the sport.
Yep.
Once it clicks in my head, and I can understand what's happening on the table.
Right.
It is so beautiful. Like the fluidity of the motions, and it's just like a beautiful dance to me.
It's a science, just like, you look at baseball, right? How did they know to put them bases that far apart? And they're, when they're trying to throw a guy out from third to first, or catcher trying to throw a guy out, it's like that. It's down to the inch, right? It's a perfect sport, perfect field, everything works. Arm wrestling is the same way. Like there's a reaction for every action. There's something happening. So it's once you start to figure all this out and you understand it is cool to sit there and watch, two different styles go at it or whatever. So it's super cool. Like, and the more you're in it, the more you learn and see. And you're right. It is kind of like a dance, I guess.
That's the way I see it, especially if the match stops at all.
You're right.
You can see people thinking, right, split second. You can see it in their eyes.
You see their whole body just moves like
exactly, and it's just an amazing thing to be able to watch. And I think that's really, once I understood what I was seeing, I think that's really when I really took a big appreciation for the talent that it takes to have those fluid motions in the sport, and to know what you're doing, and to be able to move in the right position when the time is right.
And there's a small window to it. You could miss it. And
I
still, like, when I first started, I would always get on YouTube and watch whatever I could find, and obviously you're gonna watch a lot of Devin Laird videos. I remember watching some other stuff too. And I'd watch a video, and then I would, kind of take some of it in. Then you want to go back and watch that same video a year later, or 5 years later, or 10 years later. And it's like, holy shit, that's what was going on. I didn't even put all that together. It's a process. You're not just going to learn something by somebody telling you. Right. You almost got to experience it, and then you realize what the hell was happening. So it's that, like Cobra says, it is a process.
Yeah. So you could have somebody explain one sentence to you about arm wrestling, right? And you hear it for the first time. Okay, you take one thing from it,
right?
And a year from now, you're gonna be like, okay, well, I'm taking another aspect from that one.
Like when you remember when you first started, you're at practice and you're trying to learn how to stand there, and there's 6 people around the table, and and you're like, okay. You're only going to take like one little thing from that. Come back next week and try to take one more thing, because you're not going to get it all. That's just the way it is. Yeah. So it's an interesting sport, man. It's kind of like every other sport, though. It takes years and years to get to a level,
Yeah.
And, man, I love it. So,
like I said earlier, man, just the dance, man. I really love to just get on the table and just go through the motions, the movement, not even really even attempt to pin or nothing like that,
just figuring stuff out.
Just move it around, and Stacy Kapinski, we call it flowing. So we'll just flow.
Right.
And we'll just get our arms blowed up with a ton of blood. It feels great, and you get those little movements that you don't normally get, whenever you're trying to hit a ready go, you're
there's a time and a place for ready go. I'll get guys at practice, like newer guys, just anybody. They come to my practice, and we'll get them up there, and nope, do not pin each other. If you can pin him, don't. If you're gonna get pinned, he's not gonna pin you. I want to see you guys work back and forth, figure shit out. And we'll set a clock we'll do a minute drill. no pins. And you go 2 in a row, then you're out. And then the next guy up 2 in a row, so, and it's all just basically working on how to arm wrestle. Getting your ass handed to you or smacking everybody around at practice, that doesn't do anybody any good. Nobody's getting better from that. It's those drills you do with your buddies, and that's how to get better at arm wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I've been neglecting this chat. I
oh boy,
need to catch up on that real quick. Let's see. Wilkie said, "Thanks, Cobra." Yep, great podcast. John said, "Wilkie, this is good advice. I get stressed sometimes when I can't make the tournaments I want to, but taking a step back and reminding myself that there's going to be another tournament for sure."
Yep. Just
right now. Oh my goodness. There's going to be a tournament about every other weekend. Almost.
That's another thing too that's stressful, because it's like when you're a competitor and you're an arm wrestler, man, you want to go to all these. I want to arm wrestle everybody with all of them. But it's
it's just not feasible for me every week.
So you got to kind of make a list. Okay, I want to go to these, and then just
right. And I feel bad, picking and choosing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I do want to support everybody.
Yep.
In our immediate area, but I just can't. It's just sucks.
I know. I get it.
But let's see here. Chucky Peterson, he said, awesome podcast. Thanks, Chucky. John said, give that book to Brick.
Oh yeah. That's Brick. He got that name because I text John about Brock in a group message, and my phone changed it to Brick. I'm like, well, that's a great nickname for him. Perfect. We're going to keep calling him that.
Blaze Barrett's in the house. What's up, Blaze?
What's up, Blaze?
Wilkie said, I agree, Billy. There has been some debate lately about so many amateurs getting super matches. Being able to be a part of that dance is very eye-opening. Yeah, because a lot of amateurs, man, I tell you, they don't get the opportunity really especially in a competitive aspect, to actually be able to focus on not making mistakes. Like it, in my personal opinion, these guys are losing these matches or winning, in a split second, really.
Right.
So the matches, especially in the amateur division, they're not long enough for these guys to actually understand what's happening. So during practice, you really have to focus on your table IQ and really understanding the movements.
And it's like Cobra just, he talked about it. It's your hand. When you got that hand that can just control everything, you can run right to your spot and you can control it with just your hand. That's when you start to get something going.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the best in the world, or probably one of the best ever at it. That's what amateurs need to learn, is when they go to practice, figure your hand out, figure all that shit out. Like, don't just beat the hell out of your arm. That's
right.
That should be your, for me, that's my bailout move.
Yeah.
I gotta throw my shoulder in there and stop this, then I'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's kind of the last thing that you want to have to use.
Right. That's my I don't know what the hell to do. I don't know what to do here. I'm just gonna jam inside here and hope shit don't break.
So John also said table IQ is a huge advantage and earned through experiencing wins and losses. I think you man, in my opinion, I learned more from my losses than my wins.
Oh yeah, I think because you can beat somebody and you could beat them and be like, well, I could have done that and beat him. I could have done this to beat him, or you don't know. But when you get your ass whooped, you just found out what not to do.
Exactly.
That's it. So you just next time you don't do that. I found that out many times. You definitely learn a lot from losing.
Jeff Wilkie, he said it's a big thing to be able to try multiple things to try and beat an opponent rather than a tournament style of who can flash who. So he's talking about the super match format, best of 5.
I've always been a bigger fan of the tournament arm wrestling. So I don't know why. Go to a tournament, man. You got your bracket. You got to figure out how to get through the bracket, and let's not lose a match and win this thing.
Yeah.
You try to get out of every match as quick as possible. And I love tournament arm wrestling. And the super match to me is just it's a lot more stress, like on my mind. You know, I don't like thinking about, like, if I had to think about Cobra for like 2 months, that's, I don't want to think about everybody, just the whole deal.
Right.
So I guess that's the direction the sport's going. So whatever, but.
Well, I don't know if I'm sure that you've at least seen it. Our event, May 13th, the Garage Wars.
Yep.
So I really kind of wanted to focus that event and be able to give these amateur guys a spotlight and something to work towards, something to focus on. You know, they can have the spotlight for 10 to 15 minutes or whatever, however, 5 to 10 minutes, whatever, however long it takes. You know, they have something they can work towards, something that can really motivate them, you know. And 90% of our matches are going to be guys that have less than a year in the sport or so, you know.
Well, the sport's never going to grow like we want it to grow unless people stay interested and bring more. You know, we need to. It's all about growing, right? So we can't keep guys. You know, if I had a bunch of guys come over to my house, a bunch of new guys, and they came over and I just beat on them, they ain't coming back. They're not going to come back. So it's you definitely got to keep the interest up, I guess.
Yeah. And I think that's definitely one of the focuses that we're doing with the Garage Wars event is, like I said, giving the guys a spotlight, keeping the interest up, you know, everybody be able to bring their families there and have a good time and root for your guy, you know.
Hey, and every once in a while when you do that, man, somebody shows up and you're like,
oh yeah,
who the hell is this?
Forward to that. Yeah,
this dude's gonna be really good, really fast. You know, so that happens.
The match that it's probably, according to the community, is the biggest lopsided match, but Mike Ennis and Jacob Robinson.
I'm not familiar with Jacob Rob. I don't think
Jacob Robinson is he's a newer puller.
Is he? He's obviously a big guy.
Yes, correct. He probably maybe like 270-ish.
Okay,
but I've been watching him in his training and stuff, and he's really taken his match serious. He's got 2 matches, and he's got one against Mike Ennis, which everybody on that thread, whenever I posted his match, you know, everybody's picking Mike. And I mean, Mike is the favorite.
Yeah, he's got a strange style about him. It's hard to stop.
But one thing I really love about this match, though, is it's going to bring Jacob out of any kind of shell that he is in. It's going to cause him and force him to put more effort into the sport than he ever has in his entire life.
He's going to find out after the first match how much the setup matters.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because I know exactly what Mike's going to do to him. So he better, you know what I mean? He better fix that and not, because Mike's going to lay on him.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to do it in a hurry.
Oh, yeah. He's so fast. Man, so fast. I'm just hoping Jacob can at least get a stop.
Yeah.
I'm really, that's really what I want to see, is him to be able to make the adjustment, to know what he needs to do, and just get
all where he puts his hand, shoulder, and everything in the setup. Because if you give Mike that center, or Mike's gonna fuck you up. You got to take you, like Cobra was saying, you got to take it. When he said Cobra says he doesn't take it, it's exactly what he does. But he's good.
So I'm looking forward to you know, some of these newer guys being able to being able to come out of their shell and see what they can make happen. I'm really looking forward to it.
You'll find. I mean, I remember when like Joey Melendez first kind of showed up on the scene.
Dude,
like,
such a beast.
I knew he was like, this kid's gonna be strong. He's strong, and then like 6 months later, he's whacking everybody. And now, he's. I don't even know how good he is. He's really good.
Yeah.
So but and there's been a bunch of guys like that just kind of show up, and all of a sudden you're like, damn, this dude's for real.
Mm-hmm.
So you just don't know what you're gonna get.
Exactly. Mike Brown, he's here. What's up, Mike? Mike and myself will be going at it at Garage Wars right-handed.
Nice.
So he's number 8, I'm number 7. So we're going to battle it out. So that'll be a fun. Blaze Barrett said, BAL champ, looking forward to the big show this spring.
Where are we going to be at there, Blaze? Where you sending me? Better be somewhere warm.
Give us some information there, brother.
I know you're still
Mike
in here.
Brown said,
Joel,
what's
Blaze
that?
just texted me a second ago.
Oh boy. I'll read it before you say what it is. Mike Brown, he's in the chat. He said, Joel, you the man, definitely got good knowledge for sure. 10 years worth, right?
Yeah. I don't know how good it is, but sounds good to me. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about sometimes.
It will work for certain people.
Right.
The way that you teach somebody is going to work for somebody. It might not work for everybody, but it'll click for somebody.
Yeah, I found it like practice a lot. Like me and Quinlan trained a lot over the years. And I'll be telling somebody something and he'll tell them the total opposite. I'm like, I don't know. If what he's telling you isn't working, then maybe what I told you will. Because there's different ways to do this shit.
Right. Whenever I'm, showing a new guy what to do, I just trying to keep them safe at first.
Right.
And then see where he wants to go.
Right. In
the safe position, and then just work from there.
Arm wrestling's really cool, but we all got to go to work on Monday. So let's not break our shit here.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, Joel, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up, brother. Unless you got anything else you want to bring up or anything like that.
I'm good. I wish Cobra could have stayed on longer, but
hey, it is what it is.
He's everywhere, so
he's a busy man.
I'm good, man.
Joel, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks for co-hosting.
Anytime, dude.
I'm looking forward to the next one. I got a couple more guys coming. I got set up. I think I got Johnny Hinoski. He's going to be on the podcast. Looking forward to that one.
Good dude. We got
Bill
Blaze
Arnold.
back in the chat. What's that?
Bill Arnold's going to be on the show.
That's the dude right there that's full of a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
A lot of years.
Yeah. I think I had somebody else. I can't remember who else I had.
But Blaze Barrett says trying to get Nashville or Daytona next, and Joel will be at the top of the card.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
That'll be fun.
Room. I'll send you my demands, Blaze. Oh boy.
Joel, I appreciate you, man. Thanks everybody for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate everybody in the chat. If you guys can, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Help us out. Help us grow East Ohio Arm Wrestling and the entire Ohio arm wrestling scene. We got a lot of good things coming up in 23. I forgot to actually talk to you about something. Man, I should have did that before we went live, but I'll give you a call next week or something.
Okay, all right.
But it's something
we don't want to talk about on the air.
Yeah, John Isola and I was discussing it, at the event a couple weeks ago. But I appreciate everybody coming and spending some time with us. Like I said, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Like the video, share it out if you want.
And if Cobra happened to pop back on here, thanks for coming on, bud. Yeah. Talk to you soon.
So much to Cobra Rhodes. We appreciate him spending an hour with us. We really appreciate that, taking his time out of his busy schedule to be on this small podcast. We appreciate him so much. But
Thanks,
guys,
Cobra.
we appreciate everybody. Thank you. God bless. And you guys have a wonderful evening.
Peace.
Thanks, Joel.